Hey, what's up? Welcome back to Pyreside. We are going to be watching another WandaVision episode called Now in Color. So,
Episode 3.
episode 3. So,
We'll see how this
yeah,
goes.
so last episode, I'm kind of trying to remember
Well,
exactly what happened.
last episode we left off.
Well, last time we watched two episodes at once, so those kind of blend together for me.
Well, in the end of the last episode, everything turned to color, and we found out that Wanda was pregnant
Yeah.
magically.
Oh, yeah,
Somehow.
the beekeeper guy came out of
Oh
the sewer.
yes.
And then she rewound time, and then,
Was pregnant and,
then
had Technicolor.
Yeah.
Sweet.
so
Well, okay.
based off these two episodes that have basically no exposition, what what are your predictions about what's happening or what's gonna happen?
Well, it's clear that there's a subplot. Without the exposition, this is all pointing to stuff that is occurring outside of what is clearly being presented to Wanda.
Yeah.
So as time progresses, I'm looking forward to finding out what that encapsulates, and I'm excited to leave the sitcom
Yeah.
behind.
I have a feeling this one's going to be sitcoms because we went from 50s to 60s, I believe. Because I watched a lot of other people's reactions. Since
Oh, yeah?
last time we watched those was 2 weeks ago. So I watched a lot of reactions of those two episodes. And apparently a lot of people can catch
Notice
things a lot
things
easier
that
than
we
I can.
didn't.
Yeah, there's a lot of different Easter eggs, and they're referencing different things like the Sword Corporation, which, if I remember on top of my head, is like sentient world observation and defense something. I don't know. It's like the counterpart of Shield, where Shield works on Earth, and then Sword is like they work on space, and they observe sentient
Alright.
worlds to make sure shit's not going down. So there was a Sword logo on the Beekeeper's back
Oh, was there? I did not notice
when he went
that.
through. There was the sword logo on the helicopter that when everything was black and white, and then
Right,
the
the
helicopter
color-
landed.
Yes.
Then I thought there was a sword logo.
Was it on one of the ads?
Oh yeah, so the ads. I don't think in the ads, but from what I've heard from what people are predicting is that the ads are kind of like rehashes of trauma that she's going through. So the first one was a toaster,
Oh,
and it was beeping, and apparently it beeped like a
at the same.
like a Tony Stark bomb, because what happened to Wanda and her brother is a Tony Stark missile I think killed her parents,
Oh,
and then one
yes.
landed like in their
Next
living
to
room or
her,
whatever next to
right.
them, and it was beeping, but it never exploded.
The warhead didn't detonate.
And so then
until
they
it
were
hit
stuck in the
ground.
room with that warhead for however long. So that trauma stuck with her. And then what was the other commercial?
The first one was the toaster, or was the second one the
The
toaster?
first one was the toaster.
The second one. Oh my goodness! It's been 2 weeks and I've already forgotten.
Yeah, what was the second one? I can't.
Guess we'll have to go
I
back
can't
and
remember.
watch it.
God damn it. Maybe we should have rehashed that. It's like I don't know. I don't know if there's like a previously on, but
Oh,
I don't
I'm
know if
sure
they're gonna
there
show
will
the
be.
commercial for it. Oh yeah, the second one was the watch. There was like a watch, and it was like Strucker. So it said Hydra on the watch, which I think I did notice,
Oh, did
but
it?
I didn't know the significance. So Strucker was a person that experimented on
Okay.
Wanda and her brother with the Mind Stone, which is the stone that Vision
Vision
has.
is-
And that's what gave Wanda and her brother their powers. And so she has like trauma
Okay.
about that, like being an experimental child, basically. I think.
Oh, great! Yeah, awesome.
So we'll see what this one has to bring.
We'll definitely have to check that out. So
So as far as my predictions, so for this episode, since it's going into the 70s, I'm expecting it to go into the 70s and then like a Brady
Right.
Bunch thing. And I know from the comics and from what I learned watching other reactions is that she's going to have twins at some point,
okay,
and then at some point I'm figuring that she's gonna realize that her twins are not actually real, and then she's gonna go crazy. Something's gonna
just
happen.
snap. All right, I could probably do that if I found.
Because in
out
the comics,
my
she like
family was a.
in the comics she snaps, and then she whispers "No more mutants," and then like all the mutants disappear.
Oh,
But
wow.
since mutants don't exist in the MCU, people are speculating that kind of a similar thing will happen, but she'll bring mutants into the
creates all the
MCU.
mutants. Okay.
And then,
does Disney own the
I think-
X-Men rights?
is it Sony or Fox?
I'm
or
pretty
that's-
sure it's Fox.
Yeah.
Sony owns Spider-Man. Fox owns X-Men, and I think that Disney bought a ton of Fox IPs a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So they might own. Yeah.
Cool. Sweet.
Anyways.
But yeah, so we'll watch this episode. We'll see what happens. So yeah, we'll get into this episode if you want to count it down and into play.
3, 2,
And
1,
it's
play.
pretty epic intro for a for like a 30-minute kind of like sitcom sort of thing.
Right. Such a high octane presentation to a
Marvel
laugh track.
Studios. It's like, okay. So one Easter egg is the hexagon that
yeah.
appears in a lot of places. Whatever that may mean. It's usually a futuristic shape, you know.
What was that book? Psychology?
It said pregnancy.
Oh.
Oh, that's Brady Bunch.
Yep. Definitely pregnant.
Well, that much we figured.
I mean, practically overnight. I mean, how did this happen?
So I guess last episode was over last night.
I see.
Love each other very much.
We're just tickled.
What size fruit would it be at, say, 12 hours? Pardon? 12 hours? Thank you so much for dropping
Another
by.
speculation is that maybe Vision is real somehow, because he seems to have thoughts and
Very
ideas
organic interactions.
independent of Wanda.
Right.
Bermuda, baby.
Bermuda.
Well, okay.
Did you catch that?
You might have taken the heads
Bermuda?
from a little too far there, hot
Isn't a
shot.
Bermuda Triangle like when people get lost?
Yeah, a lot of people do.
That's like a reference to like them being lost. Oh,
Yeah,
oh yeah, that's
I mentioned it.
glitch in the Matrix.
Right.
Got to start with the dad joke somewhere.
It's kind of fluttering. Oh, did I do that? I didn't need to.
Oh,
She's,
darling.
she's creating,
Hello, little fella.
unless it's an illusion, she just created like life.
Abandon the kitchen!
Something happening outside.
Do these earrings make me look fat?
Oh, thank God.
Oh, thank God.
That was just a fake contraction. Who knows?
Oh.
I guess
The
what-
real thing starts.
This room, this is hard.
The laughing track
Yeah.
stopped.
Outside with her, I think something's wrong here, Wanda. Yes, I know what you mean.
Yeah, she didn't. She wasn't liking that.
Know what to expect.
I think before his eyes were like more yellow,
It will be perfect.
but maybe I'm just blind.
Oh, her water broke.
Yes, dear?
My water just broke.
Oh, commercial time. Let's see. So everything's being made a mess.
a break?
You read my mind.
Come with me.
Reading minds.
Escape to a world.
What is? What is? Oh, that's a carpet.
My goodness.
Thought it was like suds or something, or snow. Like, what the heck?
That'd be convenient.
In fairness, darling, the baby is approximately 9 months early. Legged. You'll be all right here?
That'd be stressful.
Right. Super stressful.
As soon as conception, you have 24 hours.
Come to help. No! I mean, no, thank you! Fruit! Wanda! Thank you. Yummy.
Yeah, it's like they're obviously scripted.
Yeah. Is she scripting it, do you think?
So there are all these extra characters. I wonder if they're in the same program, quote unquote, and they're interacting like mentally.
Tell me about the temp job.
Mr. Haddix was going crazy.
Because obviously things aren't right, but like people don't catch it. It's just like it's normal.
Right. That was a stork.
Yeah.
Oh?
Didn't she draw a stork on the wall?
Yeah.
It's 10 minutes before the big presentation.
Trick in the book that
Nope.
helped this poor man. I'm
It's a tough stork.
That's my new ice maker built right into the fridge.
Bug fixed. What the hell? That was rude.
So now, at this
Seems like she has control over it because she doesn't want people to find out.
Right. Right.
And she didn't like when
She
Vision was
can-
questioning it.
She can obviously exert a certain amount of control.
Oh, I just realized something.
And I look at Mr. Haddix's feet
A
floating
fish
in the air
named Wanda.
And I look
You
back
seen that
at
movie?
Yeah.
He wants to go to Bermuda, which is a place people get trapped.
Or
But he's
lost.
trapped. He can't leave, you know, because his car's broken. Just breaking the matrix.
Yeah, she's for all this going down, she's handling her shit.
Yeah. It's crazy that she like creates all this and like,
do this.
It's time to start pushing.
like how real is this, you know?
Wanda.
Right.
One down. Damn, what the fuck? It's a giant baby.
I thought she had twins.
Like we were
Maybe
on.
not.
I'm expecting another one to show up because she does have twins, unless they differ. Because her twins are named Billy and Tommy.
Do you want to meet your son as yourself?
Yes, Tom.
Yep, number 2.
There's another baby coming.
For your
They didn't even
assistance,
have to go to the
young lady.
hospital.
I
Do you
know.
know how cheap this was?
Yeah.
So hard to escape.
I wonder if he like is somewhat aware and is like his subconscious is trying to get him to escape.
Yeah,
but
which
the
makes-
Matrix won't let him escape.
Right. Cut the wall in half.
And you can tell the background's totally fake.
Remarkable day we're having. No?
No more laughing track.
Did you lose power too?
Oh, sure did. But Ralph looks better in the dark, so I'm not complaining.
Oh, never mind.
Never seen Ralph.
Hey, but
Suspense.
Yeah, it's subtly building.
I'm a twin.
Oh.
I had a brother. His name was Pedro.
He was killed by Ultron, wasn't he?
Dun dun dun.
well, there's nothing wrong with that.
No home.
What?
She's an outsider.
What did you say?
Just now.
She came here because we're all what? What are you trying to tell me?
What is that?
What?
That. Who are you?
Who?
Are you?
She definitely looks scared.
She's not paying attention to her kids, which seems rather abnormal to me.
Better get going. That macrame is not going to hitch itself.
Oh my gosh.
Geraldine's catching on to the reality. She doesn't like that. Or catching on to the whatever this
The
is.
scene.
Wanda? Where's Geraldine?
That's an antagonist
Oh,
shot.
she left, honey. She had to rush home.
That's definitely a villain shot. Oh. Aspect ratio is changing. West view.
Got ejected.
So it's an actual place.
Augmented reality. Well, that's gotta suck.
It's too dark, so I wasn't able to catch the color of that helicopter. But I was wondering if it's the exact same color as the.
It's red.
Of
It
the,
looks
the
like it. Oh no, never mind.
Because I was thinking like maybe a helicopter crash landed like in it, and then it somehow like got turned into a toy or something, you know. Sweet. Oh. So let's see, my immediate thoughts. So for our immediate thoughts, for me, I think it was definitely better than the last two episodes.
I agree.
Still not exposition, right? But it kind of gave us a bigger, broad idea of what's that she has control of.
Well,
she has a large portion of control of what's going on.
Correct.
Because when Vision was questioning it, she didn't like that, so she reversed, and he started going
apparently
on a different
she's capable of reversing that.
And we
so
saw
is
her.
Is he not an actual being in this reality then?
From speculations I heard from the reactions I watched or from other people, is that maybe Vision is actually real. Like maybe somehow, I don't know, maybe somehow through some way she was able to like make some deal or something to like resurrect him. Because there's a character in the Marvel comics that's involved with Wanda a lot called Mephisto, and he's basically the devil of the Marvel universe, and then there's a character named Agatha Harkness or something. That's like Agatha Harkness, and she's also involved. She's like a witch, and through I think Mephisto's help and her help, Wanda is able to actually like, make a deal with the devil, so to speak, and bring Vision back.
I see. Okay.
And since her name is Agatha Harkness or whatever, the girl in this show is named Agnes, so it's like a combination of the two. The one that has that husband that we've never seen.
Right.
So maybe the husband. So maybe that's her, and then her husband is like Mephisto that we've never seen.
Who is his neighbor? Who's the guy cutting the hedges? Did he get?
They said Herb.
Herb.
That's what I heard. Herb.
Okay.
He was in the last episode. He was at the talent show.
Right. Like it's so.
And then I went on a tangent and I forgot what I was talking about.
Because she was able to eject what's her name from the TV show.
Yeah. And when she got ejected from it, she was wearing that same clothes that she was wearing, and it was nighttime. So.
Right.
So obviously she's manipulating something, but it seems like she was actually in a physical place. It wasn't just like a mind fuck.
Right.
Because she was still wearing those clothes, and and there's like a force field, and the sign looked rusted down that said West
View.
So it seems like it's an actual place that she maybe.
That certainly.
So maybe she took over, or maybe that. Or maybe she's like...
I still think that she's being held hostage.
Yeah, maybe she's being held. Maybe that's like...
But
that's like a base where those people, like the helicopters, but like she's being like held hostage, but she's created that to like protect herself. I don't know.
Or she's being fed a reality she doesn't want to leave.
Yeah. Because she seems like she doesn't want to leave this reality.
Correct.
Because when Geraldine was bringing up Ultron...
She's like straight
nope.
up had a bad day.
So what are your immediate thoughts?
Again, this episode was better than the previous two, simply because I see how the previous two were necessary, but to build the suspense of all this random stuff suddenly happening.
Yeah.
So they were necessary, but I'm much more grateful for this episode that seemed to really thicken the plot, deepen
Yeah.
the intrigue, turn it much more into just
The
a
first-
Friday
I feel like
night
the first two
sitcom.
episodes the first two episodes really divisive among people. Like a lot of people were just kind of whatever because I feel like the first two episodes kind of did the same thing. Because the first one is mainly just a sitcom thing, and then until the
Right.
dinner scene when like something weird happened, and then but the second episode was like the same thing. Like it was pretty much a whole sitcom until like one weird thing happened.
Yeah,
Like there was
until-
no progression
yeah.
of like weird things happening or something.
yeah,
unless you're really familiar with the comics and like the story of Marvel, and so you can catch all the Easter eggs.
Exactly.
Which I didn't catch until I watched a few reactions.
So just on the surface, I mean, I'm a fan of Marvel.
Yeah.
I don't pretend to know everything or even know most of it. So jumping into this, I appreciate that this episode really increased the pace of the development, whereas the other two were just too drawn out. Now, going forward...
So, oh yeah, go ahead.
Going forward, I think that military is going to be friendly.
Friendly to Wanda.
Yes, that there are the ones that are trying to pull
They're trying
her
to
out.
help Wanda. And they're not.
Pull her out.
Yeah.
That's my bet, but we'll
Yeah.
see.
So what I'm guessing is that next episode, episode 4, which we're about to watch, is going to be the exposition episode because
Right.
the end
Deliver
of
the
episode
plot.
2 is when she got pregnant and everything turned to color, and that's where we left off. The end of this episode, the aspect ratio changed to whatever. I don't know the technical terms, but what you would expect a Marvel Cinematic film to be, you know. Mm-hmm. And it left off that way, so I'm guessing we're gonna pick up that way in the real world where Geraldine
Is
wherever
chilling.
she is, yeah,
Right. Okay.
wherever Westview is, if it's which is weird because
Was Westview... I don't think this is correct, but I think Westview was where Thor's hammer landed. Was it not?
I'm not
I am
sure.
probably just pulling that out of the air, but
I wonder if
maybe.
Westview has any significance to Wanda. Might.
Very possibly. I don't know.
Yeah. It's
Where did they grow up?
they grew up in Sokovia, Russia. In Russian.
Right.
I'm not sure about the MCU, but in the comics, their father is Magneto. But I don't think they've ever mentioned that or established that in any way.
I
in
don't
the
think
MCU
they have either.
because they don't have the rights to Magneto. So,
Or at least didn't.
so maybe if she pops mutants into existence, Magneto will be one, and she'll have a dad or something. Oh yeah, and one thing is with her babies. I'm not sure which one is which, but I do know that one's Billy and one's Tommy. They're both boys, and they're super. They become like superheroes in like the Young Mutants comic series or something.
Okay.
But one of them is Wiccan, who has Wanda's powers, and one of them is Speed, who has her
Pedro.
brother's powers. Yeah. Which maybe they're also. That's why they showcased Vision's speed a lot in this episode. Maybe it's because
To emphasize
that.
Right.
I don't know. So maybe we'll see. I don't know if we'll see more Wanda this episode actually, but if we do, maybe we'll see more like a older version of those kids or something. Because they seem. I mean,
Well, I don't think there will
within
be
a
an
24-hour
episode
period, she got
without
pregnant and gave them
birth,
So
right.
I'm assuming they would grow up really fast. So, but
Yeah.
who knows?
I would imagine that the next episode they will probably end around 10. They'll go from infancy to, late childhood.
So yeah, that probably sounds right. So
Well,
so
I
yeah,
guess we'll have to
we'll see what happens.
hop in and find out.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll watch that then. Stick around and find out with us. I guess what happens. You probably already watched it to know what happens.
Right.
It'd probably be a bad idea to watch reactions for your
Probably
first time
laughing
watching
at
it.
us, talking to like, these guys are idiots.
I have
But you
no
know
idea.
what? Here we go.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say that Sword. It's like I wonder if they're like on. I'm guessing they're on Earth, but Sword is
Sword-
like a space organization.
Is Sword synonymous with Hydra
We
or
haven't.
with
No,
Shield?
Sword is a good guy company.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good guy corporation.
I see.
But
Yeah,
we've
I
seen
bet
the
you that
logo. We've seen the
military was
logo
Sword.
of a sword, but we haven't seen the word sword. So it could very well not even be the sword. But
Right.
I know that sword is Sentient World Observation and Response Division or something. So it's like so they're like a space. They observe sentient life and make sure things are going okay, like in space. So I wonder what they're doing, what their business is on Earth dealing with Wanda. Unless there's something bigger going on.
Right.
So maybe we'll find out next episode. So
it's Marvel. Of course,
Yeah.
there's something
So-
bigger going on.
So we'll see what's going on, I guess. Yeah, I'm interested to see I'm interested to see what we find out. I should say.
Well,
So yeah,
I'm John.
yeah, and I'm Zach, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey, thanks for hanging.
See ya.